Hello, welcome to West Anime Sims. My name is Kelvin and how are you doing? We are going to travel around the world in this video. Destination is in India. So I've been googling around to find pictures of Indian architecture, and one thing I found out I can emulate it well is an Indian bungalow. So right here I have the layout set out to have a U-shaped kind of a layout and then have a courtyard at the back. And yeah, so building in this style is going to be such a challenge because I don't think there is much Indian or South Asian styles of furniture or wallpaper textures. I'm going to pick and choose the ones that looks really close. So the courtyard and the style I'm going for is a bit more natural looking from the pictures I saw. And obviously this is not going to be an accurate representation of all Indian architectural styles. And I also recognize there are a lot of architecture styles in India itself because India is a really large country and you'll find from the North Indian to the South Indian much more distinctive architectural styles. So yeah, so apparently the picture I referred to has more of a Kerala style, and also I mixed in a little bit of a Tamil Nadu style of architecture. Now the distinctive architecture style I remember from the bungalows I saw is the double angled roof, double pitch roof. So definitely reminds me a little bit of how I did the Malay traditional house the last time. And it's super difficult to adjust two different angles of roof on top of it to make it look nice and actually look logically reasonable. And I cut off a lot of the parts that I made some adjustments along the way. So yeah, this is super time consuming. Also, the pillars and the courtyards are very heavily inspired by dark wood and timber. I just realized the architectural styles they do is they're very cohesive to the nature and surroundings, so it looks really balanced and harmonized with the architecture. So it feels organic in a way. And the walls of this house are usually very plain because there are usually only just white walls all over, but the color is popped in fabrics, in textiles, in furniture is where the color shines. I do think it's a really nice contrast to the style of building. So on the one wing of the house will be all the bedrooms in one side. So the front will be the living room, and then on the other side will be the kitchen and dining room. So there's a large hallway. I will put a stone kind of a flooring, and it looks pretty organic, a little bit more rustic in the sense. And only for the bedrooms I put in very heavily textured carpets, and for the kitchen also have more ceramic or earth tone tiles, give it a more rustic look. So the windows I use is this really round window. I'm not so sure whether it is definitely not Indian style, definitely, but it fits very well. And one thing I want to point out is the kids carpet. I just created a very different style of flooring techniques. By the way, if you want to find out any ideas how to do nice flooring, I have a video about that. I'll put the link down below. And also, I'm really happy that when I'm watching Rukowski's video, and he actually mentioned about my video, and it's really surprising. I'm so amazed. Really, thank you, Rukowski, for promoting one of my videos about flooring. Hopefully, more people get watch and get more ideas how to do floorings a bit more interesting in The Sims. And another good news, my channel has just surpassed 350 subscribers at the time of recording. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos. I will keep up my work, and I'm going to focus more on reviewing custom content and also reviewing older Sims games. See what I thought about the older games, what they have, and all these kind of things, as well as builds and build tutorials. I see some people are quite inspired by the ideas I just thrown into one video for focusing on one build tool at a time. So if you want to see any more ideas, you can suggest down in the comments, and I'll see what I can do to bring up new content. Speaking of which, in this Indian bungalow house, I'm thinking to put it around Deepavali, but I think Deepavali is in October, and I have a lot of things lined up for October already in the month of Halloween. So yeah, so I'm going to push forward for this Indian style house. Hopefully you like this build as well. So this house is going to be for a family. So it's a relatively large house for a middle-sized household, and I expected it to be really expensive. At that time, I checked, the cost is almost over 100,000 simoleons, and yeah, I kind of expected it because the furniture I used is quite luxurious. There's a little bit more touch dark wood and a little bit more tasteful and elegant looking one. Just fit for a bungalow, such as this dining table and with these chairs, as well as the Moroccan style seating area. By the way, I've struggled a bit how to put in all the open space to fill it up. Eventually, I put in some half walls to separate the little sections of open space while keeping it open. I like the open style of this house. So half walls is just a nice solution to have. So apparently this house is also big enough to have 2 seating areas, which is rare in my builds because I just really make a little bit more smaller, and one of the living area has a TV, another one is just area for things to chat. As for the kitchen, I basically keep it more earth tone, very brown and orange. Definitely put in a lot of spices and a lot of kitchen items to make it a little bit more like it's a very homey style kind of a kitchen. Yes, if you know Indian food, definitely has baked in a lot of spices, a lot of herbs, more flavorful. And at the corner there, I'll add in a hobby area for like the computer table and some items to gain skills like chess, table, and also the easel and the piano, even the piano. Yeah, so definitely go all out area to gain. So by the way, I used the music I chose is the world music from the sequel Bon Voyage. I'm really wary on how music in my builds because a few times I've been copyright claimed already. It doesn't really affect much other than I don't get monetized for these videos. But anyway, I'm in a long journey away from getting monetized anyway. Don't really mind much. So yeah, if it gets copyright claim, I can't do anything about that, and also it doesn't really affect much. So as much as possible, I try to avoid copyright issues. This music is initially I thought of using it in a Moroccan market build that was the most suitable one for this Middle Eastern style music. But it does suit a little bit in this build because the architecture styles do lend itself from Middle Eastern and some of the own distinct South Asian style. Definitely have crossovers from different cultures. So that's why I like about building traditional homes or traditional house, because there's a sense of identity towards different architectural styles as opposed to modern builds. Modern builds just look the same everywhere else, because whether you're in Asia or in Europe or in Americas, the modern houses all look the same. But for traditional houses, yeah, you can see how different they look, and also sometimes they share some similarities within region. So they have the mix and match kind of style, and just pushes me to get to know and understand different cultures. And also, yeah, it's a testament of how Sims 2 builds can be quite versatile if you really put the effort into it to emulate the different styles. And by the way, the color schemes in this house are mainly beige and brown for the most part. For the bedrooms, I usually pick the ones that are more favored by the Indian culture, most likely the deep reds or burgundies. Like the greens and blues always goes together. Usually the teal color is very popular, as well as a little bit of purple, but I can't find much opportunities to do purple because purple is kind of a favorite color among South Asian communities, I would presume. Well, burgundy and green are pretty popular as well. So I keep it very vibrant in the bedrooms. And also the two items I really want to put into the house is the picture of wood carving with the elephants. I will put that in the hobby area, as well as the peacock sculpture, because peacocks, believe it or not, yeah, that is considered a lucky animal for the Indian community. So yeah, I would definitely include that into this build. Speaking of other news about The Sims 4, I heard The Sims 4 is going to be free next month, and right now until the October 17th, they actually give out the new kit. Again, I don't know why they keep pushing out kits when the game is so much unstable at this point. It's already 8 years and it's still not pushing new content. But if it's free, I might try to get it just for fun. I already uninstalled it The Sims 4 a long time. Maybe I'll try to reinstall it and just try to get the kit just for the heck of it. So if you want some free stuff, go ahead and get it. And speaking of The Sims 4 being already free after 8 years, I think it's kind of time, because this game is already free and there's nothing much you can do about it anymore. But I prefer even older games because this Sims 2 has given me so much joy and so much enjoyment, and the build tools are pretty top notch, especially in trying to build different styles is pretty amazing. It's pretty on par with the Sims 4, I would say. Even though Sims 4 has better tools and better objects, you really need a lot of packs to get to the style that you want. Whereas the Sims 2, all you need is just the base game and all the expansions are there. You can literally build a lot of different styles. The limit is just your own creativity. Yeah, putting up all the decors. And yeah, definitely the decors and some of the arrangement of furniture will be the same because I'm going to edit it off camera. And in the recording, I actually forgot a lot of essential items, which is the burglar alarm and the fire alarm, smoke detector, which is quite dangerous for this house if not having these facilities, because you all know disasters can happen anytime in Sims 1 and 2 and 3. And yeah, not in the Sims 4. Sims 4 seems to be very happy-go-lucky and has not much of a problem. It's easily avoided. And the problems they have are a little bit out there and I don't really get it. So yeah, I would keep promoting older Sims games over the Sims for any time and any day. So as for landscaping, I will have the courtyard, a fountain in the center with the paths carved in, and put in a lot of plants. And definitely I want a hammock in the courtyard, but I don't know where to put it. Might as well put at the back. And put in a lot of plants that are pretty colorful, especially I like the lupin. The flowers are pretty nice. And I love the layering of having ferns and palm trees, which I added later on. And also in front of the house, I have some banana trees. If you're not really familiar with Indian culture, bananas are pretty integral in Indian food. Literally, you can have a banana leaf rice, and yeah, it's pretty delicious. You should try it if you get a chance. And yes, bananas are pretty common in a lot of Asian cuisines. You can take it as a snack. You can, in different varieties, you mix in with a lot of food or in dessert. So yeah, I really enjoy the courtyard, and it turned out to be my favorite part of the house. It has these layers and layers of plants just crowding around the corners of the courtyard. It looks really pretty, and put in some texture, ground texture and so on to complete the look. And as usual, I will post up all the screenshots I took after I done editing into my Instagram and Tumblr page. Please do give me a follow in these other social media platforms to see more things and announcements about this channel. And also a few memes here and there if I have the time. And you can also download this lot once I am done as well. Okay, we're reaching to the end of my speed build of this Indian bungalow. What do you think about this house? Please leave me a comment, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to West Anime Sims for more updates on retro Sims content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!